I find my hope in small places, and when you find hope in small places, you actually are able to start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here. And at the end of the day, every small act of kindness and generosity leads to hope. And I think, I'm a big believer that hope is an action word. And it's not something you wish for, it's something you actually instill in others. And you do that by giving them hope and giving them confidence and giving them courage. I'm asked a lot about what the advice is I have for small business owners right now. And I think it's about finding creativity in your life, and the ability to separate yourself out from the day-to-day bombardment that you're feeling of having to make decisions and having to think about the business all the time. And by that, I mean, like, don't forget to, go for a walk, listen to a podcast, read a book, start your day with meditation. Give yourself an hour at the beginning of each day or at the end of each day to really let your mind escape all the news and all the things that you're reading that are negative. Get your mind outside of business, because when you open your mind to creativity, you actually allow yourself to think differently. And when you think differently, you actually come up with solutions. So don't underestimate the power of creativity as you're trying to navigate through this. While this is difficult, make sure you're taking care of you. Make sure that you remember that there are many people that are fighting hard on your behalf to try and help you get through this, and continue to show your resilience and your persistence and your tenacity, because those things will definitely get you through. The small business community has shifted in that I believe it's actually more cohesive than it used to be. I mean, we are in the trenches together, and there's a sense of, I'm not in this alone. We're now understanding that we all are facing these things together, and we're in it together to support each other. So I love the sense of community that's come out of this. There's a fine line when you're running a small business and you're being an entrepreneur, and that is investing money at the same time you're saving money to preserve capital for the future. And in these times, preserving capital so that you don't run out of cash so you can keep your business running is really important. But you can't lose sight of the fact that you still have to invest in the future. So make sure you're being very prudent. Make sure you're cutting any overhead costs that are not driving any value. Make sure you're thinking about every single dollar that goes out, and whether it's actually a dollar that's going to support the business now and into the future, and then act accordingly. Don't have any excess going on. Now's not the time to think about things that aren't going to add value. There's a moment in time to take advantage of time, and that is really right now, to think about how you're going to be ready for reopening your business. Is your digital presence strong? Have you thought about how people are changing in terms of their behavior and how they actually buy services and products now? Are you getting your team ready for coming back to work or coming back to the environment in a way that actually continues to keep them productive but happy? So there's lots of things you can do that are action oriented. Just waiting for this to end and then thinking you're going to pick up the ball at that point to get going again isn't going to work. You have to start now while you have the time to start now and be ready for the future. Marketing is such a critical element of business right now and into the future as we come out of post-COVID. People have potentially thought that marketing was something they didn't need to spend too much effort and time on because the market was available to them. But I can tell you that marketing is the business itself. And so if you're not talking to your potential customers, if you're not telling people about what you're doing, if you're not in the right places when they're looking to buy from you, then you're not going to win. So I would say marketing is critical. Having a strategy, having great marketing tactics, making sure you have a great digital presence. These are fundamentals of coming out of this in a good way for your business. So don't dismiss marketing. I think it's probably one of the number one things you need to focus on.